Director George Miller is sitting on 2 completed screenplays for the next Mad Max films. Will we ever witness them? And if we do, whose movies are gonna be anyway? That's what's coming up on Screen Junkies News. In an interview with The Independent, Mad Max and Happy Feet director George Miller discussed the possibility of sequels for the Oscar-winning Fury Road. Happy Feet doesn't really have anything with this story. I just like to remind the internet that he made that tap dancing penguin movie. But I digress. Miller told The Independent, and I quote, "We dug down deep into the subtext, the backstory of all the characters, and indeed the world, and without really thinking about it, we wrote 2 other screenplays just as part of the Bible of the stories. Somewhere, if the planets align, there will be 2 other films. 2 scripts ready to go, yet no indication in sight that they're ever going into production. Will we get more from Max Furiosa and the newly freed wives, or will we see Max encounter completely different adventures within the world? Tom Hardy's ready. Are you?" With me to discuss are my very own war boys, Jay Washington and Charlie Feldman. Woo! Witness me!
Yes. Wait, this got vaginal. Sorry.
Yeah, that got vaginal real quick.
Eric Thumb.
Spray paint, silver spray paint to save it. So I don't know, guys. What's the holdup with George here? Why ain't we got more Mad Max?
He's 70-something years old.
Fair
All
point.
the more reason.
He's 70-something years old, and he doesn't want to be in the desert as long as it took for those. Look, Moses wanted the desert for 40 years for those people following the Bible. But nonetheless, George Miller don't want to be in the desert for what is almost 2.5 years. I think it is time dedication with George Miller as well as everybody else. You know, y'all not gonna bring me back. There's other commitments.
You're bringing it back.
Tom Hardy's commitment, Charlize Theron's commitment.
Right,
if she's in it again.
She's doing Awesome Blonde, and if that movie's gonna
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde,
I hope it's Awesome Blonde.
It will
be awesome.
But if it's as awesome as everyone thinks it is, you know there'll be a sequel for it, which she'll be definitely vested in that, which means less time to be vested in that, especially in Mad Max, especially if it's a Furiosa movie.
Can it be Atomic Blonder?
Atomic Blonder, even more,
like
more
that.
atomic. But she'll be more vested in that. Than she can't do the 2 at the same time. So it's a time commitment issue with everybody. Tom Hardy has his commitments going around. Everybody can't dedicate that 2.5, 3 years again to another project.
I'm with him taking as much time as he needed.
Sure.
Like, there was a big, I wish I knew the lag time between the last Mad Max, between Thunderdome and Fury Road. He needed that time. We got what I think is one of the more perfect films to come out in the last decade, and I stand behind that. I saw it in the theaters at least 6 times.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm willing to wait. I am happy to wait. I'm happy feet to wait as long as we get a great movie that we got last time.
Yeah, this is a guy who does not crank through movies as products to get them done. This is a guy who still believes in the art, takes the time to really get these to where he wants them to be. So yeah, he's always got a guy that's played by his own calendar. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. He says the scripts aren't sequels. Does that mean we get the long-rumored Furiosa prequel, or
so it's
what do you guys think?
There are 2 screenplays written. We don't know if they're prequels or sequels. There was a prequel comic made that he had a hand in. So if there is a prequel, I wonder if it's going to like delve into what they did there. And it was really a mixed bag in terms of reviews for that prequel because it gets into the sexual abuses of the wives and Furiosa, and people thought that was too much to see on not the camera, on panels.
Sure.
So I don't know. Personally, I love Furious as a character, obviously, but I want to see him have different adventures. I like the idea of a wandering Mad Max through the desert wastelands, encountering different people.
A little more in line with the original trilogy,
Yeah.
where it was kind of like, yeah.
Show me
like
the
an
Thunderdome.
anthology. You want to go back to Thunderdome?
You want to go back to Thunderdome?
Bring something, bring something from the past to the present. It doesn't have to be the exact type. Something similar to it. Give me a gladiator fight. I want something similar.
You're getting it in Thor Ragnarok. It's coming.
Different universe.
Would you like to? Would you like to see George Miller American Gladiator fight, where they just are both in those balls?
As long as Saber, Gemini, and Nitro are there,
and Max,
running
the Dominator, I like it.
Doing the assault course.
I want to see a Doof Warrior movie. If they are going to explore other characters, do you guys think Mad Max stays in the title? Do you think Furiosa can sell a movie on its own?
I think Furiosa can sell a movie because she was the focal point of the movie, quite frankly. It was a Mad Max movie with Tom Hardy just strapped to the front of the car the whole time, pretty much.
Sure.
It was more about Furiosa, more about the big dude, I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Morton Joe.
Morton Joe, yeah. It was more about him than it was about Mad Max.
Yeah.
it was more about them than it was Mad
But
Max.
I found that to be really audacious. And back to what I was saying before about him wandering and observing, he can do that with other characters, where it's still Mad Max, it's still his journeys, but we encounter amazing characters like a Furiosa. So I would love to see who does that next.
Yeah, I was going to suggest, you know, when I first heard about the Furiosa thing, I was like, well, maybe they call it like a Mad Max anthology movie, like a Star Wars story.
Okay, yeah.
But Mad Max, in its nature, is almost an anthology series. In a way, I mean, I'm kind of taking liberty with the word, but I think you could just, whatever the next Mad Max movie is, he can be in a third of it, and I would still kind of feel okay
wrap
about
it up in the third movie. Like we go off on a digression to the second movie, and we see all new people. And the third one is maybe a son of a Morton Joe, and he's coming back for revenge or something along those lines.
What about
I'm in for that.
Or
But
a prequel that shows how did the world end and Morton Joe become where he was? How did he
I want
rise?
to know. I love not knowing.
You like just the fact that he's just there.
I think
Yeah,
that's
like
cool.
rolled through the keyhole.
Okay.
is
Yeah.
how I dig it.
I get you.
Any closing thoughts on these guys? George Miller praise.
Again, for someone who knows what he's doing in film, again, we saw this. I didn't think it was going to be as great as a film as it was when it came out, and then it won all of the awards. And so that lets you know, as a director, he knows what he's doing. He knows to put the right people behind him to make a product. I'm for it, but again, I just think the time is like, this is a project. This is a 2-3 year dedication, if not more, to make what we want. And again, I mean, it's gonna pay out, but does he want to do it? Does he want to put all that time into it?
Yeah.
Or does
I
he
hope
want to
so.
Yeah,
Does he want to
I
smoke
hope so
cigars?
too. Does he? I mean, you can kind of maybe do both. George, take your time.
First name basis, George.
George, I know you're listening, Miller.
Do what you gotta do, buddy.
You take your time, man, and we'll be excited to see whatever it is you put out next.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, Fury Road. It didn't let us down. We're all true believers. Internet. We want to know, what would you like to witness in the next Mad Max movie? You see, I did witness because that's from the movie, and I asked you to do it in the comments. Click around here for more boxes, for some more Screen Junkies news. Like and subscribe. Be nice to each other down there, and we'll see you next time. Bye.